So guys, for this assignment, you will be reading the poem Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost. You have already read something by Robert Frost earlier in the year, the poem The Road, if you remember that. So you can think back to that. You also want to reread this again, just to remind yourself about what type of poems Robert Frost wrote. And that's important, as we know from learning about Poe's life. It's very important. So that we can make connections from his personal life to his poetry. So this poem is only 4 stanzas long. It's not very long, but it has a ton of meaning hidden inside of it. So what I want you guys to use is the CASTT Poetry Analysis Worksheet while you read this poem and answer all of these sections here in this table as you read, and once you are done, you're going to go ahead and turn it in. So what I'll do here is I'll help you go through some of these things real quick and remind you of what you're supposed to be looking for. But mainly I want you guys to read this on your own and see if you can figure these out. Alright, so here we go. The title, you guys know how to do this. Consider the title and make a prediction about what the poem is or what the poem is going to be about. So you've got the picture here, you should always look at that. You've got the title, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening, and you know a little bit about Robert Frost. So those three things should make you help you make a really good prediction on your CASTT Poetry Analysis Worksheet. So go ahead and make your predictions. And then next thing you want to do is paraphrase. Don't forget you can stop and pause this video at any time, so if I'm moving too fast, go ahead and do that. I want you to translate each stanza into your own words. Look for complete thoughts. So I'll go ahead and help you out with the very first stanza to get you started, but I'm not going to go through the rest. That'll be your task. So the poem is Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost. And he starts off by saying, "Whose woods these are I think I know. His house is in the village though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow." So you can see that he is traveling through what seems to be a woods or forest, and he knows whose forest it is, but the house where the man lives is in the village and not in the woods, which makes you insinuate that he is all alone in the woods. And he says he will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow, which makes you infer, or should help you infer, that he's thinking about just stopping. So the question you should be asking yourself is, why would he just stop and watch the snow come down? So go ahead and fill in on your worksheet. So if you go back to your CASTT worksheet, go ahead and fill in and paraphrase that stanza. And so go ahead, you don't need to translate each line. You can go ahead and just translate each stanza and do that. There's only 4. So go ahead and do that. Now, connotation. You want to examine the poem for meaning beyond the literal. Remember, connotation is the underlying meaning or the added or extra meaning, the figurative meaning of the word, not the literal. So look for some of those figurative language or imagery or sound elements. So as we go back here, okay, we're looking for these things that are here. The darkest evening of the year. There's definitely some connotation here, so you can look at that. What does that help you infer? Mistake is a good word there to look for connotation. Sweep of the easy wind and downy flake. These words right here. Sweep is a great word that has connotation, especially like in sports. You think about a sweep, or if you sweep something, you can, not just sweep the literal dust, but you can sweep away your memories or emotions or whatever it is. So this word has a ton of connotation right here. So think about some of these other ones, especially this one here. Okay, all these other words that have tons of connotation to them as you go through. So point out some of those and write those down on your connotation box here. Attitude and tone. Notice the speaker's tone and attitude. So what you should do, because I know that some of us, okay, don't have a lot of words for attitude and tone. Go just search on the internet 155 words to describe an author's tone. Okay, and you'll see there's some excellent words here to describe, even at the very beginning as you read this poem. Okay, one of the words that should pop out at you is awestruck, that this man or the narrator is amazed, filled with wonder and awe at this snowy evening or the snow coming down in the woods as he's standing there by himself or on his horse by himself. So I'm going to go back to my worksheet here and shifts. Are there any shifts, changes in the speaker's attitude? So look for some of those key words, right? If you go down to the last stanza, a lot of times the last stanza will have a shift. So look for a shift here. I'm not going to point it out to you, but look for a shift here in the last stanza and see if you can point out a phrase or a line. Copy and paste that, put it into here. Title. Examine the title again, and this time on an interpretive level. So after you're done reading the poem, read the title again. Stopping by woods on a snowy evening. Does it have more meaning or more significance, especially after reading what the narrator is thinking about doing or wants to do? Theme. Briefly state in your own words what the poem is about, the subject matter, or what the poet is saying about the subject or the theme. So what would be the theme here? The narrator wants to enjoy this moment in the middle of the forest or the middle of the woods while the snow is coming down. What would be the theme or the central idea behind that? So that's it. All you got to do is fill out each one of these boxes. Okay, it shouldn't take you too long. If you finish early on this assignment, then I want you guys working on your poetry project or the WeVideo poetry project, or if you haven't updated and finished your Google Slides, you need to do that. So make sure you're working and you're getting stuff done. Hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow.